Hello, hola, bonjour. Welcome to Your Story Matter podcast. I'm your host, Angie Abreu Olivo, and we are here to inspire sustainability and change by creating with purpose. All right. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And have fun with it. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Your Story Matters. Sorry, I haven't been here a while. I've been recording, doing a lot of YouTube videos. I hope you go check them out, Angie Blog. And I've been creating more content, and also there's really cool courses I'm creating about circular economy and anti-racism, education, decolonization. But it's not just me, so I'm looking into all these educators, BIPOC educators and beautiful teachers and good people, just learning. I don't know. I want to create this experience. So I'm looking into Teachable. It's an online place that can hold your courses platform. So I'm looking into it. So that's what I've been doing, and writing books. I'm also writing. There's one book that I'm back into, and then looking into publishing only ebooks for now until I can find eco-friendly publishing, which I'm still looking at some publishers now and looking at some offers. But for now, all is good, all is well. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Let me lower this music. I've been doing some meditation, and happy full new moon. So if you're listening to this, it already happened. Today is the 26th. I'm going to try to post it today, this podcast. At least you have this. I wanted to also do a YouTube, but I'm doing the work. This is work, y'all. So let's talk about this. Today, full moon and Scorpio is exactly that. You are supposed to write down. No, you're not supposed to. I mean, you do what you want. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that if you want to release some, shadow work and tense inner childhood, all these things that no longer serve you for the new person that you're becoming, or at least all of us, we're all evolving in different stations, different entities, I will say, different dimension. But we're all in the same reality, the same realm, we're just living in different, in our situation and struggles and traumas and dealing with this BS systems and all this crap and then having all these trauma and all these things right in our faces, and then we're kind of trained to avoid it, ignore or it doesn't happen to me, so let me just forget it. I don't understand. At least for my perspective, which it could be anybody's perspective, it could be yours, it doesn't matter. We all equal here. This is a neutrality, sovereignty podcast, so let's keep it neutral. But I do want to bring other voices here, so I'm working on that too. So it's been a journey, and also good things are coming. There's a lot of good things are coming, so I can't wait to tell you. But my guy's been telling me that it's better to leave things in mystery until it's settled, than tell people, and then some people can actually I don't know, just ruin it or something. And they highly believe on this. So I'm always like, I believe the good in people. Like I'm always like super open and super like I don't see it that way. I always see the good thing in people, and I think that's what they're letting me know. It's like they're helping me build better boundaries. That not everybody has good intentions or has heart like mine, I guess. But I'm not perfect. I do have like, imperfect stuff and things that happen in my life and things that I'm trying to fix as a mom, sometimes I am really, really judgmental and horrible in my head. And sometimes I wonder if like I'm kind of the same with my kids. And I ask my kids, I lower myself to their feet. Like right now, it's always like, I'm looking at you. I want to see you. Like I want to speak to you in your eyes. You know what I mean? And when I started doing that, it started during lockdown where and I learned this also from this community. It's called Latin parenting, and they're colonizing, right? They've been doing this for a very long time. So that's also, and then me reading books, mindful parenting and stuff like that. So this have made me realize, like, that's why I went into therapy, trauma therapy, because since I was a child that went through 6 different traumas, this was... And then I normalize it. So that's why, like, my brain is like, it kind of shut it down to a point, like, this is what it is. That's it. Like, this is what I deserve. This is what's good enough. I don't deserve any better because they say it all the time. Or, I don't know. It's just a lot of really dark, like we can go on with this conversation, but I'm sorry, I'm going deep in this. But since we're doing shadow work today, I think it's healthy to put it out there, like release. And I think this is what I'm doing through here too. So if this resonates with you, then totally, leave a comment or, share it, that it might resonate with somebody else. But absolutely, having moments in your life where you take a time to reflect on your own bullshit, because just as you're able to project, you're able to also withhold, but also you're able to like always have this expectation and kind of mindset. And also that too, I'm writing like I'm letting go of the patriarchy mindset. Even though it's there, I'm not going to focus so much on the, it's not that it doesn't affect me all the time, but I absolutely, until we can come with solutions and stuff, that's something that I'm like, okay, I need to let go so much of the concentration of patriarchy, because it is everywhere. Like for me, it's like, okay, I have to deal with it. And that's something that I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's accept it. There's nothing you can do. Men are here and they are doing all these things. And there's other people who are really psychopathic and crazy. And you know who you are, because if you listen to this, you know who you are. Also, I want to make it clear to my lovely enemies. Do understand that this person has lived many lives. And I come here before. I've been in this same situation. I know exactly what I came here to do. And that's exactly what I keep discovering and take it. It's like a layer, and I guess God put me to go through all this horrible childhood stuff so I can understand also people who being abused, oppressed, and, But at the same time, this is okay, I need to make it clear with you, because I do have hackers and they tell me all the things that you're trying to do to the website. Please understand, I really don't get it, because you are a huge corporation. You're huge. I don't understand why you need to lower yourself down, all the way down, because I'm nobody. What? Because what I'm saying is the truth and it bothers you? Because you're lying, right? So this is what I have come to understand, that these people are narcissistic billionaires and psychopathic, and they do like, they're insane. They're completely like their colonizer parents. They're actually even worse now. They're actually smarter and has much more money, more control, are able to literally do atrocities that people don't even know that they're doing, but eventually will come to light, by the way. Hackers are not going to leave this like this. You're highly mistaken if you're censoring Facebook and censoring all these apps, by the way. It's fucked up what you're doing. It's fucked up. And we know. And it's gonna be out there. Lies always come out. This is what when lies, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to control, no matter what you do, the truth will always come out. And that's why I'm just gonna leave it like that. The truth will always come out. There is scientific data that proves this. The one that you've been trying to bury and censor, well, it's been found. And it's going to be spread. And I hope it's spread because... Anyways, I just pray for healing and for I'm sending such amount of love through this to those people who are like going to discover the truth and are going to be so shattered by this fucked up shit. It's not the end. There has to be some other way. There's always another way. The fucked up thing is that they got away with it. And you will see. The future will tell. For now, I'm just going to be here trying to help and heal as much as I can. I can say that I got a job, so I'm finding a little bit of a stability. I'm going to be, anyways, I'm not going to say it yet, but we'll see how it goes. But it's a very cool job and I'm really excited. Other than that, yeah, it's been like 2 years trying to find a job. Other than that, you see, I came out of the of the story. But what we're talking about, you see, talking, trying to defend myself. I'm literally like this. I have to be like this on my tippy toes on social media and all outlets and stuff like that, because it's like they censor everything that it needs to be said, that people need to learn. Like anti-racism education is a priority. Climate change, environmental, and justice. Fucking justice is social justice is climate justice. So we need to implement environmentalism, internationality, or binary, or like education needs to be collected and together. Like this mentality that we're living, it's insane. And trying to continue is another insanity. So again, sorry that I'm lashing out on podcasts, but it's just. We're living in a world that we are accepting lies and ignorance and oppression because it's easier. Because they give us the easier way. Because it's easier. We accept things because it's easier. Because we don't want to deal with it because it's too hard. It's too much work. It is a lot of work. That's the point. You know? You do it and then that's it. It's done. But at least you go through it. And that's just what I'm saying. This full moon is that. You release all negative beliefs, all beliefs, all these things, you know. And also accept. Like we need to let go of not accepting Black people. Okay? I know this because it's your language. You speak it, you write it, it's like, and we don't even know. Sometimes it's unconsciously. So we need to be conscious. Anti-racist, conscious anti-racist, conscious anti-white supremacies, conscious discriminate, like, you know what I mean? Like non-bully, like seriously deal with your own shadow. Yeah, deal with your own stuff. Don't come out and project and do stuff to people just because you can't deal with yourself. And I know there's a lot of saying like, oh, it's a privilege to go to have mental health and have a mental therapist or whatever. Hey, there's books, hey? I'm just saying. And they're free in the library. I know not everybody, yeah, but it's there. It's there. So you can't say that it's not, it's there. It's free. But it's hard work, right? Oh, reading, like seriously. For now, honestly. And that's what like I did most of the homeless time and the time where it was like unbearable. And now it's like, just saying, reading is knowledge that you can apply, is beauty, is gold. It's what you can turn into alchemy, right? Because for alchemy, you need something. So reading and understanding your shadow and your light, you know, because we all have this beautiful light, these talents, all these purpose. But we've been so dormant and conditioned not to even think about it that we, you know, we just forget. We forget. And they want us to do that. And they keep teaching us not to like, and look at what we're supposed to learn. Like if it's some fictitious or conspiracy or no, the truth is the truth and it needs to be said. And also that's how, when the truth is out, people can actually make choices. Like, why are you taking people's choices away? That's my point. That's where I'm trying to get. I'm trying to seek the truth on that. Why are you taking human rights and people's rights? Things that, you know, like why, again, control, manipulation needs to be the center of attention, needs to be there, right? And yeah, they're just psycho. They're psychopathic. The people on the elite, like, I don't know what's wrong with them. Like they're more mental now. Like if vaccine. Pharmaceuticals now we're harvesting human for pharmaceuticals. I hope not. But I really, anyways, it's time to release. And that's what I've been like, releasing all this negative, you know, all these things. Like that's something that I'm discovering now. Like I didn't know that I was doing that. Like, okay, for example, I'm going to tell you one, and you can leave me in the comments or leave me on one of the blogs or the posts. Things that you let go on the full moon, on the pink. And it's pink. Isn't it cute? Like, it's just pink, apparently. But I'm going to check it out tonight. So definitely check it out. It's going to be for 2 nights. Okay, so one thing that I want to let go is projecting and withholding. So I used to project. I'm definitely working on that. Like, but I used to do that. Like I used to, and I'm still like working on it. But withholding, that's something that I found it kind of strange. Like there's something in me that is like, wait, what? I'm withholding? Like, what am I withholding? Right? So then, when I look at the synonyms of withhold, it says keep, retain, detain, withhold, reserve, mean to hold in one's possession or under one's control. Keep messages are holding securely in one's possession, custody, or control. Keep this while I'm gone. Retain, imply. I don't know, something about the words remind me of someone being oppressed, right? Someone being like put down, or I don't know. So that's something that I'm like, okay, so why? And then that's something that, there you go. This is what the shadow work starts. You ask yourself these questions. So this is what I asked during my meditation, during my time alone. Like, you know, these are things that I ask myself. What am I withholding? And that's the same thing. If you relate more to projecting, then like ask yourself, what are you projecting to other people? What are your motives? What are your purpose of you to hurting other people? Like, are you hurting them or are you giving them love? You know, always act out of love. This is something, another thing is that use compassion and love through this. So that's what I've been doing, like mommy myself. So I'm like, okay, let me create a podcast that I can tell you to mommy yourself. Okay, so right now go like this and hug yourself. Hug. Okay, if it was like, oh, your mom or whatever, that's you. Just hug yourself. That's you. Your spirit self, that's you. So remember, focus on, like, if you're talking to a friend, okay, to a best friend, but that is you, okay? So this is what I'm learning through, healing inner child and also that too, creating courses and learning from other people. But also I want to bring them into the courses. So that's what I'm working on. because I also want to get them paid, right? Like I also get compensated. And that's why I'm looking at teachables where these courses can actually pay the educator. So I'm like, okay, so if I can create like a kind of like a summit or like some kind of event or something where they, and then they have their different teaching courses there, and then people can get it. So I'm working on that. So yeah. But other than that, you go. That's what comes from going through the deep, going through the shadow. You see, when you pass through the shadow and you work on it, it's not easy, by the way. There's always been a lot of crying, a lot of body pain. There's been a lot of, just shedding, okay? And it's not pretty. But it's okay. Everyone is different. You will go with different stages. You can go at different levels. That's why meditation will teach you a lot about mindfulness. So you will be mindful of things, and that too. It's like, you're letting go, right? You're letting go old beliefs, like, like for a lot of BIPOCs like myself, like to think, I don't know, there's a lot of colonialism that I need to and the patriarchy, no. And I know that's something that I carry it myself, or like I'm feeling some kind of shame or anything for other people's whatever they have done. So it's just like, yeah, man, going deep is hard. It's very hard. Other than that, I know my guys are telling me that I could do a card reading, but I'm going to do it for YouTube later. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Yes, do some meditation today. I don't know. There's other things that we could be doing. We didn't come here for this. Nah. No, man. Equity. We need to build equity all together. Equity. See, I'm singing it right now because this is something that I want to, I literally want to let it go and bring it. Please. Equity. No more equality. That's something letting go of that, because I have to accept that either way it's happening right now, right? Until we start changing, say no. That too. Time to say no more. Okay, and the last one, 5. Act like the victim when confronted with their abusive behavior. Yeah, I have a lot of those. So that's why this one is a huge trigger for me. And they probably are listening to this podcast right now. So, yes, there you go. Shadow work. That's the shadow. And that's what it is. Just accept it, embrace it, and be like, okay, and then let it go. And be like, okay, how can I go back into my light? How can I go back into my higher frequency? And this is one other thing that I'm building a course about higher consciousness and how to stay coherent, embrace joy, manifest abundance and power. Stay hopeful and do things through creativity, through adversity and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of excited and working on. But I want to bring other people too. So I'm trying to see okay, what's the budget and how to bring them in and see how I can help them too. Because, everyone is struggling right now. So that's something that I don't want to ask people. I don't even have interns or anybody anymore because I just don't want. I don't think it's fair that we ask people without giving them compensation right now. I don't know. It's just my thing. But I found, okay, so one thing that is helping me also through the shadow is to avoid people who mess with your head. Okay. So, there's some people that, they act really nice and stuff like that, and then they, ghost you or something, and then they come back a few months later, and, I don't know. I find those people, they mess with your head, but also that, too, that's why I'm learning through light work is that, I can be compassionate towards them. If the way they treat other people, that's how they treat themselves. So that's why I don't judge them or, I just have compassion towards them, because Nobody's perfect, and that's it. That's just how they treat themselves, and that's it. It has nothing to do with me. The second one is intentionally and repeatedly do and say things that they know upset you. Do I repeat that? Intentionally and repeatedly do and say things that they know upset you. Yes. So I wrote it from a narcissistic family point of view. Gaslighting and doing things, and then they're like, no, but I didn't say that, but I didn't do that, but no, what are you imagining things, right? Yeah. Avoid those. 3, expect you to prioritize them, but refuse to prioritize you. Oh, right? We all know those people, right? That they expect you like, oh, can you share this? Oh, can you do this? Or they always expecting you to do stuff, but then when it comes to you, or when you're doing stuff, or when you want them to share or do the, help you out, they don't. They just disappear or completely ignore you. Yeah, those people. Time to prioritize you. Yes, I'm telling you this, and I'm telling myself, okay? 4, can't and won't apologize sincerely. Yes, I wrote this, yes, because I have a lot of people that want you back into their life and stuff like that, but they just don't apologize. They don't say sorry, but they expect other people to say sorry. They're very vocal, but again, narcissistic people, they will never apologize, ever. Yeah, or they blame other people. That's their tactic. They will always blame others. And look at me, I'm blaming others too. Bah! There you go. Back at you. Yeah, seriously. At this point now in my life, I'm literally like not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm like, oh, you're pointing fingers now? Now I'm questioning myself. I'm like, what is it in you that you need to work on? Yeah. Have you asked yourself that question today? Yeah. Yeah. And it bothers me to ask myself that question. But I have to do it. You know why? Because I have to question my ego. We always have to keep our ego in check, by the way. Our ego likes to play games in our head. So, especially because it's conditioned and programmed from the Matrix. So you need to keep it in check because, yeah, it's just part of who you are. It's just what it is. You can, it's just what it is. It's just a part of consciousness. Remember, the higher consciousness has different aspects. So ego is a consciousness, right? Healing is a consciousness. Creativity is a there's different layers, just like words, right? Because words have magic, right? So, when you write down your intentions, so that's what I'm saying. Like when we're doing the shadow work, you're writing down things that you want to release, things that I want to let it go, okay? And then burn it in a candle or something, and then say it. I am letting go of, and then you can, while you burn it, you let it go. You let it go. You give it to the moon. Give it to the moon. That's what it is. That's what we all doing, y'all. Give it to the moon. What you need to let go, okay? Let it go. That's what I'm doing. We're all shedding. This is like the snake. We're all dismantling oppressive system. Yes, I'm writing this down right now. I am letting go of oppressive systems. Yes. And colonialism and patriarchy. And yeah, just fucking white supremacy. Fuck. White supremacy is everywhere, y'all. What do you think anti-black policies is? And they're trying to continue the same crap. Yo, we have to do this. We have to create education, anti-racism education. You don't care what the government, no one says. It has to happen. Those who are down, email me, okay? I'm down for this. I'm down to create some freaking awesome school online where kids can go outside of and make it fun. Like there's music, I don't know, something fun. Like education used to be fun. Okay? Education used to be so fun. Now it's boring. So boring. Because it's a lie. It's all bullshit lie. And we know it's a bullshit lie, and then they're making us do it. Like, this is... So, yeah. Letting go of people pleasing. Childhood traumas. Like, that too, ladies, single ladies, stop attracting what resonates with your inner child traumas. You know, yes. You project that. You attract that thing that you haven't healed or resolved from your childhood or past relationships. Yes, absolutely. And then, guys, I would suggest also do a moon bath, like tonight, like just go in the bath and like release all that, like be like a little baby, like a newborn baby. Okay, like, you know, treat yourself like like you're in the wound, and you're letting go all these things after you burn the candle. Okay, with your letting go paper stuff. What other things? Yeah, use self-care, use things that keep you in a line. Another thing that I researched also for the super full moon Scorpio release ritual. Yes, it's kind of like a ritual, which I love. I really like it. I think it's nice. But yeah, I definitely suggest ground yourself, surround yourself with rocks like, you know, like aquamarine, citrine, and the quartz, smoky. You know, just focus on yourself. Focus on the intention of what you want to let go that doesn't belong, you know. And take your time. That's another thing, is like you should be like off. Like, this is work. Inner work is work, okay? So take your time. Like, really be specific about it, okay? And like write it all like in full sentences, okay? And yeah, and then burn it. And then take that beautiful shower after, you know. And then go back into meditation if you really want to. I don't know, release any karmic, any DNA, anything karmatic or things that not belong in your body right now. Yeah, just release it to earth and God and, I don't know, nature. Let them help you to take away anything that doesn't belong there, that doesn't need to be there, right? All right, I hope this helped you. I'm going to go back in and do this because soon I have to go pick up my children. And but I didn't want to have this podcast with them around because it's very loud, and I let my kids be, you know. I don't want to be this when my parents... And, you know, I don't blame them. That's another thing I wanted to say here, is that remember to forgive, okay? Forgive yourself and forgive everything, everyone. Don't go into that moon bath with a dark heart, okay? Don't go in there with jealousy and hate. Don't go in there. Don't bring that to yourself, because it comes back to you. Like, and it just, or you just stay stagnant. And it's just more suffering for yourself, okay? Don't go through that. What you project, what you see in others, it's what you are, okay? Don't forget that, because it's just the law of nature. We are the creators. We are the projectors of our reality. So let go of everything that you have known from now to the past. Let it go. Bury in that paper, burn it, and then go into the water. Okay? And like submerge yourself like you are a new person. You're not who you used to be. Okay? And that's it. Just let it all go and welcome new person, whoever it is that comes back, right? We don't know. And that's the beauty of the unknown, that you don't know and you're not supposed to know. And it's not controlled or manipulated. It's not used or abused. It's not oppressed. Okay? All the things that do not come of love, it's not of God. It's just not. It's not who we are. It's not our spirit. And that's something that we're letting go because it's just easier to just not even look at it, right? Ignore horrible things. But we shouldn't. We shouldn't ignore, you know? It's a lot of programming and conditioning. That's another thing. Like, start forgiving yourself, pray for yourself, you know. Like, one prayer that I would say that I don't know, just, ask God to help you make holy choices that will keep you in the divine frequency of your source, right? Like it will keep you in your source. It will keep you back into who you are, who your inner light is, So that's it. Anything that gets you back into who you are, that's who you want to remain after you let go of everything that you're not, right? All the pretending, all the things that you're just not, and be who you want to be and continue being that, but just better. Every day be better, right? Or do something better for somebody. Like, I don't know, everything that I do now, it becomes another, it's like, okay, what can I do for that person now? Like I just never seen it like, okay, me, like, and when I explain this to people, they're like, oh, you're people pleasing. You always, and that's something I'm like, okay, yes, I guess I am a people pleaser, but it also made me more empathetic of other people's situations. Listen to understand them instead of like, and I don't know, have compassion to what they're going through instead of like trying to, diminish their experience because it just didn't happen to, like, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm learning through this, and I'm passing it down to you, is that, being more empathetic for other people, it's not a bad thing. It's not something that it's like it goes against your morals. You know what I mean? Well, that's what capitalism and patriarchy and all this oppressive system have taught us. But it's not the truth. It's actually, you become a super human, let's say, or a super integral person because you are always thinking of another person, like, or how can you help this person today? And it's not just like, it's like every day, like what will you do every day to improve you and another person who doesn't have what you have? This is what equity starts. This is how it starts. This is why it goes against the status quo. This is why it goes against the typical oppressive system that we're living right now, this linear system, which it shouldn't be. It should be circular, binary, right? It should be internationality, environment, like, green spaces, sustainable for everyone, not just for some of us, right? Because that is a crime already. I believe racism is a crime. I don't care what anybody has to say. I think racism should be like punishable, like it's a crime. And all the things that we're talking about now, all these shadows, it's all from these systems. That's what I'm looking at my shadow list. I'm like, damn, this is all from this. Like most of some people, but it's mostly what we deal in our everyday life and other people deal with. Other people have to live with. Some of these stuff is not even mine, but I'm like, but I'm going to say it for them. I'm going to put it for them. I hope that they let it go. Can you write that too? Right? I mean, don't write their names because you're burning the page. But just say it like it's somebody else's problem that you wish it would go away for them. It's not all about you. Right? This is what we're trying to let go of, the individualism, and get to the collective, like the real collective, like organic collective, like the really compassionate and full of integrity and truth. And I don't know, man, like we have to shift this mindset like soon, because Earth doesn't have long, man. I mean, Earth has plenty of time. It's us. She just gonna get so freaking, I don't even know. Like, now we don't know if it's 7 years or 6 years that, because they fucked up the data, there's a huge gap. Of course there's a huge gap. It doesn't benefit the 1% that everyone knows what the fuck they're doing. Oh my God, we need to find a solution for this. Like, the tax the rich, okay, but what are the accountability and the retributions that needs to be held? Like, we have to come together, everyone, like somehow, somewhere, And I'm not here to I don't want to be judging or anything. It's just that there's change that needs to happen. We're just not addressing it. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop pointing finger. I'm going to stop telling, I'm just telling you what I'm doing, what's happening on my end, how I'm fixing, how I'm making my actions and trying to help my community and trying to help my people. And then You do what you got to do on your own end, on your own, because every action, it's needed. Every action matters. Every prayer matters. If you have the means to donate and support our community, then that matters too. Reason I just want to say that we have a new shirt we added into the website is for Earth Day. And it's going to be, all the profits is going to go to indigenous communities. They're indigenous leaders, activists. So it's there if you're able to help us out, and and help that community out too through this. And also every purchase will plants a tree. You can check it out at the end on our website at the bottom. There's our Writers Yep Agency Forest. It's pretty cool. Also, I do it for clients too. I'm going to start doing it for clients. So every client that comes in, we're going to plant a tree under your name. And that's it. I'm just creating my own internal circular economy, and I'm just going to voice it out, create classes, that's it. Like, fuck it. Like, oh, you need a trend? Okay, let's start it. Circular economy trend. Yes. Sustainability trend. Yes. Less waste. Yes. And the last one that I know that I'm getting a lot of people pissed off is eco-publishing. We have to stop with the freaking... we have to stop. We need many different publishers, eco-friendly, taking all the plastic and turn it into books or garbage. Come on. It's enough now. I know this is one other thing that my business not really, it's just because I'm going against pretty much all these systems. But at this point, I don't care anymore. I know what I came here to do, and I know what I want to do, and I know who I want to help, which is the younger now and the future. And that's it. What I'm going to do is within myself, with my children, and then focus on that. And especially create more open spaces for people with disability, people with trans, LGBTQ. There has to be more inclusive spaces of work, of farming, or agriculture, different things. We need to start. This is... this full moon, damn, so charged. Seriously. Okay. Well, that was my chant. I hope that if it helped you, great. But I'm just saying, we got to start that mindset. We got to start it. And I don't know, let me know, how would you want to start your circular economy? How do you do it? How do you define circular for you? What do you define it? What it is? And that's, look at it this way. When you're changing to sustainable mindset, it's kind of the same thing that you do with your light work and shadow work. Where the light work is that you focus on greener things, on things that are not plastic, or, really focus on not meat, and reducing the consumption, your shopping and stuff like that. No, only organic or cotton or systemic companies, things like this, And then the shadow work is the other side of what you do that it's not good for the earth. Right? Or yourself. What you eat, what you consume, it's also not good for you, right? So that's also not good for Earth. So remember that you're not separate from nature. You're part of nature. So when you look at it this way, you're okay, wait, why did I give myself today? Because you're like a tree. You're like a walking tree with consciousness. That's really it. You're here for Earth, and Earth is here for you. And then we all conscious. We're all God. That's really it. So that's another thing where we have to be conscious of how we, you have to make a conscious choice and change the narrative, right? And at the same time, that's something that I've been thinking about. It's okay, we have to thank that version of ourselves because it really got us this far, right? Whatever situation that you were in, that was the thing that your soul needed to experience, right? So that's another thing that today, while we're doing this, don't feel so bad. Feel all of it. Feel all your feels, but don't feel so bad oh, man, I'm not eco-friendly enough. I'm not this. I don't have enough. I don't know how to, just the awareness of it. Just you're acknowledging and you looking around, and just the awareness, you already are eco-friendly. You already are sustainable. That's what I wanted to make you guys understand. If you're are aware of your own situation, of your own environment, of your own community, that is already good enough. Now, after you're aware, write down what would you do, those actions, and what works for you. Don't look at other people, what other people are doing. What works for you, what makes you feel good. Okay? Forgive yourself. And so another thing that I wrote is that, those things that didn't work out for you last year, 2 years ago, like the job, the relationship, the commission, the book didn't get signed, or whatever didn't happen, that just wasn't aligned with your frequency, with your energy, okay? And those people who did wrong to you or did all this horrible thing, it just wasn't for you, okay? And sometimes that's just what it is, that the universe just takes away those things for you, okay? Those going through traumatic experiences, this is something that I wrote it down many times, is that that experience, it's not me, and it doesn't define me. Okay? So for my people who've been abused a lot, or still healing that aspect, it's just not you, and it doesn't define you, that experience. Okay? Another thing for my writers, and like they couldn't finish all the books and stuff, it's just the thing is about, we should have do it sooner. It wasn't the right time. There is a right time for everything, and you can just trust the divine timing that you will do this. And I'm telling you this, and I'm telling myself, but just there are certain things in our reality that we cannot just ignore, and that's something that I'm conscious about, and that's why everything is divine timing. Okay, especially if you're an activist and you're trying to do all these things at the same time you're a parent or something like that, just keep that in mind, that everything is in divine timing. It's not, as long as you keep going, it's divine timing. That's it, guys. Just let go of the old. Anything that is holding you back, just let it go. And because our ego gets in the way, and our healing has to be very emotional today, very just release, so that whatever doesn't serve you, okay? And that's it. I hope this podcast helped you, and, stay blessed, stay conscious. And enjoy your full moon, enjoy it. That's why I put some music and get back into it. Like, that's what it is. Stay in your high vibe, okay? Even through the dark. Dance through the dark. That's what I'm saying. Have your light shining through the dark. And, and just go through it. Feel all the feels. Let it go. If you had to dance and cry, then do it. I know for those who are dealing with grief and really intense emotion, like asking you to let it go is a bit harder than most. So that's why through this, I'm sending you some love and healing right now. You're going to get through this. And remember that right now it just looks really deep and dark and very consuming, the pain. But I promise you there's going to be a lighter way at the end of the tunnel, okay? It's just right now you're in there, and that's okay to feel, and it's okay to take your time. But you let go on your time, on your divine timing, okay? Don't feel rushed by doing this. Oh, okay, I gotta let it go. No. For those dealing with grief recently, or have suffered something, recently, something horrible or something like that, this is not for you, okay? I will say release the shame or the guilt if you're feeling guilty, or if you're feeling any dark shadows towards anything that is in your grief, through your grief, but not letting go of the, going through the grief, okay? Because that's important. At least, I don't know, I find that your spirit, it's better aligned with who you are when you heal those aspects of yourself, okay? Speaking from experience, my mom passing away a year ago. So, but other than that, much love, and be kind to your planet, to you, and to others. Bye. Enjoy full moon.